everyone, and welcome back to Fashion Attack. For those who don't know me, my name is Mikal, an interior designer from Tel Aviv, and on this channel we love to remake super high furniture for a very tiny price. It doesn't matter if it's chairs, closets, furniture, or full apartment makeovers. I want to start by apologizing for not posting so much, but the planning of my wedding has been crazy. But today we are back. I am doing 2 makeovers of 2 different apartments, so there's tons of DIY that we're gonna post in the next weeks, and we're starting with the dream table of one of my clients. She literally fell in love with this piece over here that was completely impossible to fit inside the budget, and the original piece is also made of marble, which is super expensive, but I decided that we can remake it with wood and make diagonal cuts so that all the edges are gonna be perfect, straight, and look extremely elegant. Step number 1 was doing a lot of math and calculate how many, way too many, pieces of wood we're gonna have to go and cut. You can totally decide to go to the wood store and ask them to cut it for you, or you can take out your circular saw and cut it on your own. We bought the coolest piece of equipment of our freaking life, and now we're gonna put it into action. I am honest with you, and I'm actually very scared because it looks very big and dangerous, and because every time I use this kind of things you just complain, I'm gonna use safety, cover everything I can cover, so you guys just focus on the tutorial. The best thing of my new toy is not only that I'm finally able to do straight lines, is the trick. You see, you move this on 45 degrees and you can cut diagonals. Diagonals! You can make squares and boxes without seeing the edge when you put them back together. No, that was not me cutting the actual table, but I had to show you a clip of the first time I used a circular saw because diagonal cutting was such an experience. This is what I mean with diagonal cutting. Basically, your wood is going to be cutted at 45 degrees angle so that it matches one on each other with a perfect angle. And the consequence is that you can match one on top of each other as if it was a puzzle, and it will come all sleek and nice and clean on all the angles, both the sides and the bottom and the top. Basically, like this. And now that I showed you how this works, it's time to brag about my way too many pieces of wood that I had all set down on the floor. Now, take a little piece of fabric and start cleaning away your entire wood because it's going to be full of dust and we don't want this to get stuck in our paint. Now that you got all these pieces of wood lying on your floor, it's time for you to paint only one side of them. We're not going to see the inside. Give it 1 layer of paint, let it dry, and then paint a second time. I know that some of you are wondering, why is this wood green? And I have the answer for you. What I used in this tutorial is not normal wood, it's compressed wood. What it is basically like wood and cardboard compressed together, and it makes it extremely heavy, which is uncomfortable, but I really needed it because there's kids in the apartment of my client, and I wanted to be sure that even though we do not screw this to the wall, it's impossible to turn over and to hurt her kids. We have already started, and this tutorial looks amazing. I'm sure that the result is gonna look insane. And talking about getting crazy, it's time to assemble everything exactly like a puzzle. How good are you at that? So it's not a secret that I really struggled at the beginning to understand which piece goes where, because as I showed you in the measurements at the beginning, every box that I created was different from each other. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, so you have to find the exact piece. I took out my nail gun and then just started to nail every corner that I had of the box, then went with my hammer to push them more inside, and then did it also on the opposite direction. In this way, there's basically a crisscross inside the wood that makes it unopenable. I inserted also the bottom so to be sure that it's stable, and now it's time to put also the top. As you see, we have a perfect box. Go around with your staple gun, staple also the top, also in the opposite direction to make the crisscross inside the wood. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm gonna get married in like less than a month, and the planning of this was getting me absolutely crazy. Everybody's telling me, get a wedding planner, but there's no way that I DIY my entire life and I'm not gonna do my own wedding. So like always, the solution to all my issues is Skillshare. I became my own wedding planner. If you don't know it by now, Skillshare is a perfect platform that solves all your issues, no matter what you want to learn. If it's DIYing, if it's becoming a video editor, if it's becoming a wedding planner. So all I did was look on Skillshare for my course on how to organize my wedding, and I did event planning, where to start, because I had no idea where to start from. And finally, together with Anna Hashcraft, I had the vision in front of me. With her, we went through every single step, that is how to organize a budget, what is the theme, how to get the catering, and I planned the full wedding in 10 days. I know, that's crazy. So if you're looking to save some bucks like me and you want to follow a course without ad interruptions at your own pace and in the comfort of your own home, it's time for you to click on the link down below, because for the first 1,000 of you that click on it, there's going to be 1 month free trial. Now let's go on with the tutorial. And as you can see, I'm just assembling one box on top of the other. I needed to place it a bit diagonally on top of it, so to create this effect that we want from the original one. Then take out your screwdriver, make a lot of holes on the top, and then in this way we can connect it with screws, the top box with the bottom one. We're gonna repeat exactly the same thing many times. And look, da, 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 da. Super heavy but super stable. Go on, put the cover on top of it, staple it with your staple gun to, is it a staple gun? Yeah, with your staple gun all together again, and then go with your hammer, and again, one box on top of the other. You're gonna have to do this with all of the boxes and also with the top of your high table. Yes, this is a huge box, and there you see it's perfectly matching. We go again with our staple gun, connect also this one, and this is gonna be the last piece that we put on the top. The most interesting part of this table is the fact that the boxes are not positioned in the same way. Not only they're smaller and bigger, but also they are not at the same angle, creating this back and forth in the texture of the table. Can you guys guess what song I was vibing on? Finish to assemble every single box, and at the end, like always, you find out that your work is absolutely not perfect as much as you hoped. Guys, it doesn't matter if you are the perfect, amazing cutter, if you brought it to the store, or if it's your first time with a circular saw, it's gonna end up being not perfect every single edge. So yes, we are still gonna have to take out the sanding paper and some wood filler to make sure that all the seams are perfect and seamless. As you can see, actually the pieces match together almost perfectly, and again, the diagonal cut helps so much because otherwise you would see the end of the wood on the two lines that you connect, and I didn't want to see that at all. This is also with the last piece on the top, but now it's time to sand it and cover also all the little staples that we added with the gun. Take out your wood filler, add sandpaper, and just get on with it. We're gonna have to sand every single corner every time that we see that the edge is not perfect, and also fill up the areas where we see that instead the two pieces did not connect all the way to the end. Don't worry guys, this is a totally easy job. You just have to wait for it to dry, go with your finger if you need it, and then go and paint everything. The table is done, and I am absolutely obsessed with the result. My client loved it so much. She literally thinks it's the most beautiful piece of furniture we have inside our place right now. But before I show you the result, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done it yet. See you next Monday, and let's go see the result.